Everyone. My name is Juan Moreno. I am a research scientist at the Consejo Superior de Investigaciones Científicas in Spain, and I'm a principal investigator in the Neural Rehabilitation Lab, which is a lab inside the Cajal Institute, a neuroscience research institute in Madrid. So my background is on automation and robotics, and in particular, I have been working for more than 15 years in the development of robotic exoskeletons for human augmentation and rehabilitation, and all that is related with the interaction of these type of machines with patients with neurological disorders. When I first approached the research environment, I was faced by the challenge of developing assistive technologies for humans with motion disabilities, so with some type of weakness at the motor control level or a muscle weakness. So this led me and led us in our group to try to embody at some point some type of bio-inspiration in the type of robots that we were developing. So we were moving from like more passive type of orthopedic systems to more robotic-like assistive devices that are in very close interaction with the human limbs, upper limbs and lower limbs for assistance and rehabilitation. So on the one hand, we were inspired by biology for building the actuators, the effectors that apply some type of assistance to the body. So that type of bio-inspiration, in a way, for us is very much related with artificial intelligence, because then you need to have a way to control these actuators. So emulating how the central nervous system in biology is solving this type of complex motion and tasks requires also to embed like a artificial cognitive system into a robot. I am very much a believer in the idea that our cognitive abilities emerged first from the solution of the motor control. So motor control was like the preamble to a more advanced cognitive abilities. So this is the way that we try to address this type of projects on cognitive robotics. And in my personal opinion, I think that the future AI systems are still likely to be basically human programmed systems. So I am not also afraid of like artificial intelligence that might be able to have such type of consciousness at some point, because I think that this is very a very futuristic idea that we have, like we have this type of perspective coming from the science fiction, but I don't really think that will be the case, at least in the midterm. So in my opinion, it will help if we try to address this type of myths or challenges, if we try to focus on specific domains, because one problem is that there is a huge variety of domains. So our brains are required for every human-related task individually and in society. So there is a broad spectrum of applications that poses challenges when trying to describe what artificial intelligence systems are, what are their purposes and their implications. So it could range from like emotional or social assistance to, like, for instance, human augmentation, like to enhance cognitive and motor capabilities, just to name two different type of applications. So I think that we should focus the discussions to these specific types of domains and implementations of AI to clarify if we really have to take care into account in detail the liability, the responsibility, the ethical and legal issues or not. And I think that there might be in the future more like implicit AI systems that are like becoming more and more seamless to support humans and to, for instance, help us in detecting or preventing risks like environmental risk or any type of risk, which I think is wonderful. I mean, there are many opportunities, but if you also think about applications in which you could use AI to support humans individually in diverse types of tasks, like for instance, when you extend the cognitive capabilities or the motor capabilities of a human subject, then there are like questions regarding, of course, safety, but also who is going to be responsible for the outcome of this type of interaction or enhanced outcomes. Maybe the challenge is not to forget that we really need to understand before actually using this type of machine learning tools as black boxes, because that is the risk that we are basically only replicating, but we are not able to really comprehend what are the underlying mechanisms. And we basically try to do that. We try to reveal or to understand the mechanisms from biology and then to try to replicate them. And in these replicas, we can also make different modifications to make further questions about the biology. So that is like a bidirectional communication between the more basic and more applied science. I totally agree that there might be cultural biases for sure that might affect the way that society could or not adopt a specific type of robotic systems, such as companion robots or social robots in general. So that could help, or that could be a barrier depending on the specific cultural background. Within our own societies, there are also different types of like preconceptions or prejudices. But like within our societies, we also need to face the challenge of having different generations, different ages and types of end users. But of course, culturally, we need to address that from the education in robotics in the school. I think that this will help in the future if we manage to influence the policymakers, for instance, to bring these messages into the schools to facilitate the understanding and the adoption for a widespread use of interactive robotics. I think that most of the fear comes when you are not able to anticipate what will happen from this type of artificial systems. So learning and knowing more closely these machines will certainly help the society to understand them.